Hello, this is Robert of Deadartstudios, and this is Painting with Deadartstudios. Welcome back. This week we're working on my acrylic volcano abstract painting. It's now definitely become abstract. In the last video I showed you that I'd sort of done some cutting of it with a table saw to create some texture, and I've done a bit more in the time that I've been away, and I'm painting those bits in now. I'm doing some orange. Just having a sip of my cocoa while I'm talking to you. I'm putting a little bit of orange into some more of these table saw cuts that I've done, and I have to admit now this painting is beginning to challenge me as to what it is. The majority of it I do still like. I still like the mountain vibe at the bottom and the yellow on the sides, and actually within the sort of eruption, the colour eruption and texture at the top, I do quite like most of the textures and colours, but this orange bit that I'm working on now with the magenta that's down below it, I'm finding difficult to remedy with the rest of the painting and to make it work in terms of just how it's shaped and how the colours sit with the rest of it. And I did want I did want an area of contrast and something to focus around within the eruption, some kind of, I suppose, like an actual explosiveness from sort of centre out, and then these calmer blues and greens and yellows around. But I have to admit, I'm finding it difficult to make it work, and to think that it is working, I suppose, to be happy with it in my own mind. And that's what I've been doing this week, as well as some other bits and bobs with my painting. So some of the other things I've been doing this week is I've been painting my first ever portrait, and that was fun, actually. I thought I'd actually hate it and find it tedious or whatever, and I didn't. I really enjoyed it, and it didn't look that bad at the end for my first go, so I was quite pleased with that. And then I did another one after that, which I often find the first time I do something, because I've got no preconceptions, I actually find that I do a better job, and then the second one I've sort of got some ideas and trying to match what I did in the first instance or whatever, and and then it's always a bit more difficult. I find that with everything I do, I think. So the second one was less successful, but then I did rush it a bit at the end because I was just trying to get the experience and finish painting in the night. I think I could have made it work better if I took more time on it, but at this point in my painting journey, I'm just sort of trying to train myself to become as fast as possible, which may seem silly, but if my aim is ultimately to be a painter who makes a living from painting, then I think you can't shy away from some certain facts, and those are, if you make one painting every 6 months, the amount of money you're going to have to charge to justify that painting is not going to be viable. And in some ways it's quite interesting, because I think painting is one area where you can charge more in all the arts and crafts, and where that's okay due to the sort of astronomically high prices of the top end of the art market, and therefore something at the bottom end doesn't seem that silly. But actually with most arts and crafts, let's take into, say, for example, knitting, you can't actually charge what the product, the piece, is worth. For, if you do knit a sweater, I would imagine the cheapest you can get some sort of half decent yarn for these days. I do knit myself, so I do know about £45 maybe, $50, let's say, for in US for the yarn. And then the hours to knit it, I mean, depending on how fast you are, you've got to be talking 48 hours, surely. I don't know, maybe some people can bang it out quicker than that, but I mean, I've been knitting mine since before Christmas, and I've got down to about the chest. So, so if you add those up with sort of minimum wage, and then the price of the yarn, people you're in sort of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars marks for a sweater. And if you look at some designer sweaters, like sweaters by Marni, for example, the Italian clothes company, designers, shall we say, and they'll charge like $1,000 for a sweater in mohair, and you think that's insane, but actually, if it is, I don't know if those are hand knitted, probably machine knitted, but if it was a hand knitted jumper or sweater, then you'd probably want to charge more than that in some respect for the amount of time that it'd take you to make the thing, especially if it was a top end fashion piece, So painting is something where you can charge a bit more, but you can't, I think, at the beginning of your journey, spend 3 months making a painting and then charge $5,000 for it. So if you want to make a living from it, I think you have got to become quick. And therefore, the ultimate aim at this point is to become quick and competent. Because if you're not competent and you can't make something that looks good, or makes a point, or initiates or emotes something, then you're not going to be able to sell that piece. And that is why I want to paint quick and do a lot of painting, so that I can create pieces that people are emoted by, and I want to be able to do that in a reasonably quick amount of time. Not so that I can make lots of money, but so that I can charge a price that somebody can afford to buy one of my paintings, I suppose, as much as anything. Obviously, you want to make a living from it, but for me, our family's in a comfortable position, and I don't need to make a large living from my painting. I'm very privileged. I'm just kind of filling my time and trying to earn a living at the same time. It'd be far easier and probably more productive just to go and get a job as a teaching assistant or something while my daughter's in school starting next year, match her school hours and collect the paycheck that way. But I'd rather have a go at this. It means more to me, and actually it probably shouldn't. Helping out families and kids and stuff should be super high on everyone's agenda. So I suppose that's a glimpse into my true personality when I say that my painting means more to me. Yeah, but it is something that I've always wanted to pursue. It's a selfish pursuit in many ways, but it's something that I've wanted to do. That's interesting. To what degree is art? Is all art self-serving? Is there? I don't know. These days, I started to wonder if there is actually. Everyone talks about, me time and, keeping yourself in good mental health and things like that, and therefore you need to take time for yourself. I'm not 100% convinced that that's the case. I think service to others, even if it's your immediate family, actually sort of trumps that in a way and makes it more, you get more out of it for yourself and your sanity than going on some kind of what I might call more selfish pursuit, like knitting a sweater or making a painting. But they do provide peace and happiness and calm and things like that, and they don't necessarily in the end bring a great deal to society, both close to you and further afield, I guess. But then you could argue that somebody like Matisse or Monet's paintings have brought a lot to people. But it's hard to quantify that, isn't it? It's hard to quantify the feeling you get when you go and see one of those at a museum. And is it a bit like ticking boxes and saying, yeah, seen that? Or when I went to see The Kiss by Gustav Klimt, in Vienna. I was expecting it to be sort of a tick box moment, like, yeah, seen that. Good, let's move on. But actually, that was an emotional experience of some kind. I don't know why or what it was about that painting, but it kind of just blew me away. In person, the painting looks so much more amazing in real life than those. I mean, the prints and things that you see on the internet, and must be prints of prints by now, you know. Just copies of copies of copies, and it looks so watered down compared to what actually you see when you go and see that painting. And that is an amazing thing to look at. But just getting that feeling from that, does that actually provide a service to society? I don't know. Anyway, quite a large tangent from my initial point, but never mind. This painting, part of me just wants to throw it away at this point. But I think I will. The blues and the greens, they sort of remind me of a globe for some reason. For some reason that's keeping me going, but I just need to do something with this orange bit and somehow make it work. And sort of meanwhile, I've sort of got this interest, that I've just sort of created about portraits and things like that, and it'd be easy to get distracted from these ideas that I've been putting into this and some of my other paintings, and move away and just move on. Resilience and persistence is required, I think. In terms, I suppose, wide of my painting, I still need to do some more work on getting what's going to be my initial shop ready. I need a few more bits and bobs to mount my work and everything, have it ready for sale, and I need to photograph it. And so I actually think I've actually got quite a lot of paintings that I've done now, quick studies and a couple of longer pieces, so that would really form a small body of work that I could sell. And I think I need to maybe take some of my spare time and excuse me, and use it more for getting those bits and bobs ready for sale and getting the shop up, because I think that is one of the initial points. I think the sooner I can get a shop up and going, the sooner it sort of professionalizes the entire endeavour and brings something extra to it, and it'll allow me to try and make my aim of becoming a painter for a living real. Sort of working it in reverse in some ways, if you understand me. Anyway, I hope if you're tuning in that you're okay and you've been doing okay, and everyone around you's been doing okay and all that. It's been, I suppose, a difficult week when you see everything that's going off in the world at the moment, and I just hope for peace in the greatest, widest sense possible. I'm just painting in some titanium white down at the bottom here, and sort of blending it in with the blues as well. Create some different tonal values and changes on the painting. And even looking at it now, I don't hate it. I don't even hate these orange bits close to where I'm working now. But that central portion, it's more the way it's textured rather than anything that it's not sitting with me. It doesn't seem to be coming from anywhere or going from anywhere, not doing anything. So, a new idea required, I think, to make that work. But I am almost tempted just to take a hammer to it and throw it out. But I don't know. We'll see how I feel. in the coming days. I have been enjoying my painting, and I feel like I've made some progress again, so that's good. And I'll continue to do so, even when I think I have a level of fatigue. I've been going at the whole YouTube, social media and painting thing pretty hard now, and there's a level of fatigue to it, but I am pleased to report that in my own mind, that isn't putting me off from doing it. I have an occasional doubt where I don't want to make a video or edit a video, should I say. But then I always do, which is good. So I'm pleased about that aspect of it, that I am treating it as work. I'm just mixing in a little bit of primary cyan there, with a little bit of the white. I think it's primary cyan, it could be ultramarine blue, it's probably primary cyan. I'm sure I say this every week in my videos. Some kind of discussion about whether I'm using ultramarine or primary cyan. Let me know in the comments which one you think it is. Yeah, this bit at the top here that I've been working on I do actually quite like these bits, the way they're blending in. So I think that might be key to keep on going on with it, really. Try and get a finished piece out of this. Whatever I manage to do with this in the end, it's going to be unique. There's no disputing that. So that alone should be called to continue. Well, I hope that you've enjoyed watching this video. We're coming towards the end now. And thank you for stopping by, and if you have been looking at any of my shorts or anything like that, or any of my other videos, thank you, it's very much appreciated. And I will be back next week, and hopefully with more painting content. Now I think about it, I do have a hospital appointment next week. Might slow me down for a couple of days, so we'll see, but I'll get something out, I'm sure. Anyway, for now, goodbye. I'll talk to you soon again. Take care. Bye.